Alright, artist, in this video I'm going to kind of guide you as to how we could make an artwork borrowing some of the ideas, kind of using the style of Romero Britto. So we're going to start with the shape in the center. So you could start with a heart. So starting with a heart, I would be trying to fill most of the space of my white paper. I messed up there, but it's okay because we start in pencil so that we can make changes and erase things. So you could start with a heart in the center, or you could start with a different shape, but it should be a simple shape and it needs to be a closed shape. So I could do a flower. So I could have a circle in the center of the flower and then kind of create a very basic, simple, closed, right, flower shape. So starting with a shape and taking up most but not all of the paper. Then I need to divide up the space around it. So I could use straight lines to do that. These are straight diagonal lines, so coming from the flower out. They could be zigzag lines or even wavy lines if you wanted. Now I've broken up the background, the space around my shape, and I need to do the same thing with the inside. I could go ahead and do that with by extending a line of the flower petals. I could do that with each one. But I can also just randomly break up this space inside the flowers and maybe even inside the center. If you did the heart, you'd do the same thing. Put at least 5 or more lines dividing up the background, and then also dividing up the inside of the heart. So kind of separately, outside, then inside, outside, then inside. The next thing I'm going to do is give this some black outlines using whatever media you're going to use. So you could do this with any color media. You could use markers, you could use crayons, colored pencils, oil pastels, paint, whatever material you have available and enjoy working with. So doing the outline, and then I'm going to color all of the spaces in, and that's going to be week 1. We're actually going to come back and revisit this and add some finishing touches on week 2. So for week 1, you could even just work on coloring in the object. Week 2, you could finish the outside, and then I'm going to show you how we can add some patterns and thicken up our black lines to finish up this artwork during week 2. So this is a good stopping point for week 1. I've drawn my shape, I broke up the background, and I colored, and then I also broke up, the shape into smaller sections. Each time I got to a different closed shape. So even though this whole thing makes up a flower, where I had this dividing line, this became its own closed shape. And so inside there was a color, and each time I came to a new closed shape, I used a new color. It would certainly be okay to use this blue more than once, but I wouldn't want to use it right next to each other. I could have it there and there, or have it there and there, right? So long as it wasn't touching, it would be fine to repeat colors. But this is going to make our picture very colorful and create different blocks of color, which will kind of make our eyes jump around the artwork. So when you get to this point, you are finished for week 1.